What's up, guys? We're the Ancient Era Bros. I'm Neflink.
And I'm Toad Fitz, and this is our review on Megaman11.
My robots!
Over here, Light!
Megaman11 is an action platform game. This game kept the same gameplay style of the classic Megaman series. The game starts with a cinematic showing the evil scientist Dr. Wily at the Robot University many years ago before the present time. Dr. Wily invented a new double gear system, a device that enhances robots' abilities. His research was stopped due to the danger that caused robots to work over their limitations.
Dr. Light decided to install a prototype of the double gear system that Wily created while he was younger on Megaman, giving him new abilities to help him stop Dr. Wily. The speed gear slows down time, and the power gear allows your weapons to become way more powerful.
What's really cool about this game is that they kept the classic gameplay of Mega Man itself.
Yeah, you really jump in the game the same way you jumped on your Super Nintendo, on your Game Boy and everything, where you're just Mega Man. There's a scenario that's happening, and you're going through the classic 9-square setup that they have.
Yeah,
it's really interesting.
Exactly. They kept some of the original sound. The levels, they're very difficult. We were playing on normal, and we had a hard time going through it.
Yeah. If you haven't played Mega Man for a while, normal is like a rough place to start.
Turn it down a notch because don't expect to blaze through it on normal.
What's good about that though is it does give that replay value. Like if you break it down, you understand what you have to do. You do kind of want to run through it on hard because that's what we're used to and what people who normally play Mega Man are used to.
Yeah, you really gotta read under each difficulty. It tells you what you pick in order to be able to enjoy the game, and we had to turn it down a notch again, go to casual, and it said that if you haven't played Mega Man in a while, that's the level of difficulty you should be playing. And honestly, we tried normal. We just one level, dying 20 times trying to get to the boss.
I think I haven't gotten game over that many times.
Yeah, it seemed impossible. We were just like, okay, we need to go through this game, so we had no choice and turn it down a notch.
Yeah. What's really cool that even though the game was hard and it changed everything up, they didn't. It being on the Switch, they didn't overdo the graphics. I know. On Mega Man 64, for example, they tried to make it like a 3D world and it's more walking around. This is really classic Mega Man. This is the feel. You can tell it's upgraded with the 3D look.
Yeah, definitely.
And stuff like that, but I'm happy that they stayed true with the graphics to the feel of Mega Man.
Yeah, exactly. No, they were definitely able to do that, and it's really nice to look at as you play. It's 2D.
Yeah.
So and as you go through the levels, they really they went with all the details as well. Each level had also different aspects to it. The last level you played there was
the bounce ball level and.
Yeah, exactly. And all of these levels, they really have their own charm. Depending on what's the ability that you will find at the end of that level with the boss. So I think that they really did a good job with that too.
Yeah, with the graphics again for how you visited those bosses and how you saw them, I think it added more character to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To tie into what you were saying about the abilities. Some games where if it's just a flat image, it's not interesting, you know what I mean? But this game, for it being a classic style but upgraded, it really felt really good during the process.
Something new that they brought to the table was the double gear system. I think it's a really good addition to Mega Man itself. I mean, there's one where you can slow down time, so it really helps whenever you're fighting enemies or if you gotta do something real quick and you're trying not to fall off the edge. And the second one was
the power up to make your
exactly it makes your weapon stronger. So whenever you're in you're in a tight space where you need to kill a lot of enemies at once, it really helps,
especially on normal or harder.
Yeah, and what was really cool about that too, as you get your powers from beating those bosses, whenever you power up with the double gear system, those abilities, it really enhances everything. You see, if you're throwing a electricity ball, well, that ball becomes way bigger and it does way more damage. So
even with this new abilities, I feel like they didn't take away from the game. Sometimes games will add something and it'll be way too easy.
Then it ruins
it'll be like, oh well, that I'll just freeze time every time I do. But they really made it that you can do this game without it, but having it
That's true.
is your last minute save. But like sometimes that's not enough, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like there really is a short period of time in that speedometer for how much time you're slowing down.
Yeah,
It's really
that's
for
true.
like a split second, and if you overdo it with using even your abilities of the power up, that and the dog, it's still hard. It's still really
Yeah, definitely. It
and
doesn't make the game easier at all.
no, you have to split second decide to use that ability.
Yeah.
Which is like not all the time. Like I use the dog barely, and I'm like, oh, I should have used the dog.
Yeah,
Or,
that's
I should
true.
have slowed down the timer.
Yeah, in the
I
moment of
should've-
the heat, you're
Yeah.
just kind of caught up with everything that's going down. I found myself to be using the slowing down time more than the power up one.
Yeah.
I feel like that was more useful when, especially when it came down to the bosses. So it
Yeah.
was a good addition for that as well. Besides those abilities, there's also items that you can buy at a shop.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. It really helps you, especially if you're playing normal or higher. You're gonna need those extra lives. You're gonna
Yeah.
need those extra energy tanks. You're gonna need all that. It really helps.
There's a lot of the game that if you go into it looking at it the old style, we didn't have the shops and stuff like that before. So at least not the same way, you know what I
Right.
mean? So it really is a refreshment, but it's like they're giving you all the ways out to play
Yeah.
the game. But you still have to grind, like it's still
Oh,
tough.
definitely, yeah.
Game over is
Well, in order to buy the items and all that, you have to. It goes with the boats. So
Yeah.
you find them throughout each level whenever you play them. And even after like finding all of that and buying 9 lives, which is the max, on normal mode, I used all my lives and I couldn't get through it. So it's really that hard.
One thing I noticed is that the story is not like huge or anything. It's not why you're buying this Mega Man game. It's really like a throwback to the challenging levels and
Yeah.
stuff you had. But it's the classic Dr. Light versus Dr. Wily, where he comes in, robots are evil, and then you have to fight them.
That's true. And for me, one of the big games that really got me into gaming was Mega Man X, and I really loved that game. And like you said,
Yeah,
the story.
They didn't bring in Zero. They didn't bring in
Exactly,
There
there
was just a
They were missing certain aspects, and something else that I noticed is that in the older versions there is the capsules where throughout certain levels you would just go in a capsule and then it would enhance automatically your suit,
your legs or your arms.
exactly,
Or your helmet.
and it would give you like these new abilities that that really helped you throughout your game, and then you could use them for different things. So that's something that was missing
Yeah,
about
they
this
took
game.
it away. Yeah,
Exactly.
there was nothing like, oh, I got to this certain part of the level, nice. It was very much like, okay, I'm just gonna go through this level and then
Exactly.
move on to the next one.
But they do have the parts that are in the shop, and
Yeah.
those parts they give you these abilities, but at the end of the day, it's not really the same. You can go without them. You don't really need them,
No,
to be
yeah.
honest. So there is that.
Yeah, I think the abilities you get from the bosses change your aesthetic, change your look, which I found cool.
Right.
But
Well, your original Mega Man
yeah,
doesn't-
exactly. If we're referring to your Mega Man X, when my legs go white and my arms go white
Yeah.
from the old Mega Man X series, that was cool.
Yeah,
I
it was a cool feeling, you were
felt that,
happy.
okay, I got upgraded. I'm gonna keep grinding.
Yeah.
Because the game was so hard, and when you finally get that, as in now it's really like, I mean through the bouncing level, which is probably the ones I'm better at. I was the regular Mega Man throughout most of the thing,
Yeah,
even though we
exactly.
had all the other abilities. But I didn't feel like I was upgraded or anything. It was really except for my Buster, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Which, unfortunately, it doesn't give that feel of like like I'm gonna look cooler than Zero type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't get that.
That's true. So besides everything we just mentioned, I really loved the game. To me, it was really a throwback to what Mega Man X was. Really something that got me into gaming, as I mentioned. I really loved everything about the new powers that we had in the game as well.
Yeah, it kept it very interesting. You know?
Yeah.
We had a big flop with Mighty Number 9
Yeah.
that came out.
A lot of people liked it though, but it had
Uh.
it was a lot of people liked it and some didn't. But like it was like
I
kind
think
of
the people who liked it didn't know what they were expecting. The
Yeah.
fans of Mega
they didn't
Man
know what they were missing out
were
on.
waiting for this type of Mega Man for a long time,
That's
and
true.
then by Mighty Number 9 flopping, Capcom decided to capitalize on it and
Yeah.
release Megaman 11, which was smart, you know.
Yeah, they clicked right away and they're like, let's do it, and it definitely worked out. To me, at the end of the day, for this game, for especially the price tag, it was $40.
Yeah, with the case, yeah.
With the case. Well, the physical copy, it's a must-have, definitely. I love Mega Man. Maybe that might be
a biased opinion.
Yeah, a biased opinion, but I think it's totally worth it. I had a blast. I almost beat the game on casual. I'm gonna go back to normal and really try to push to make it happen and beat the game again. So.
Yeah, I just to tie into that, I mean, I would say must have only if you're looking at it as a Mega Man fan. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people will. I feel like a lot of people will get very frustrated with this game.
Yeah, well, it's part of the game, right?
And if they, well, that's it. That is the game. I do want to mention though, before I give my full opinion, handheld mode is definitely where it stands out.
Right.
I'm not as excited to play it on my TV, but if I'm going somewhere and I need to knock 10-15 minutes down, and you know I can just sit there and go through one level, it saves your progress. Back in the day, it was like your codes and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But this one, it really like it takes your progress and you go, but it felt good in your hands. The buttons were never too far apart. It brought me back to the Game Boy-esque, like, you know, the Game Boy Advance even, which it didn't take away from the look of it and everything like that, which I'm scared that some games when you put it on the TV or on the handheld it changes it. But I just felt good. Like I felt like at that price, that's a game to have on your Switch. That's you know, you don't have to play it all the time. You can go back to it, but it is at a $40 title, definitely something that should be in there. That if you have the patience for it, go for it. And if you want to upgrade upgrade. If you want to challenge yourself even more by playing the harder difficulties, it's definitely from that perspective a must-have. You can't really try Mega Man. You know what I mean? A lot of people will play Mega Man and be like, oh, I don't like. It's either you know what Mega Man is or you don't. You know what I mean?
I guess.
That's why my final result is, if you are a fan of this, if you do want a challenge, you don't want a huge game because it's not that long. It's only 9 levels essentially, but it's hard.
Yeah,
it's definitely a challenging game. I think you should have it on if you're up for a challenging game on your Switch and you want something that's short and sweet but also really like there's enough content that it's interesting at that price tag for after, especially after Mighty Number 9. If you've ever played Mighty Number 9,
you've been deceived.
This is the game you thought you were buying. This is the game you should play.
Alright guys, thank you for watching our video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also turn on the notification bell because we will be coming out with a video every Thursday and Sunday. In the comments below, let us know which Mega Man game is your favorite.
And don't forget, at the end of the month, we're going to give away to one of our new subscribers one of our canvases. And don't forget to check us out on social media, which is our Instagram right now. And we're hopefully going to be more active on our Discord, and we're going to start Twitch soon, so it'll be interesting. So stay tuned. And we'll see you all in another castle.